Welcome to the Lexus Halftime Report.
They're the defending NFC champs with the Falcons battling for their playoff lives. It looked like they were driving to take a halftime lead, but Matt Ryan intercepted. Julio Jones not pleased, and as a result, New Orleans and Atlanta tied 10-10. As we welcome you back to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Lee McHugh with Tony Dungy, Rodney Harrison. Pre-game, we went over this. We talked about the Falcons. They'd be desperate, but they needed a checklist, and they did check off a whole bunch of boxes if they were going to get a win. Go through that checklist. What have you seen?
Well, Liam, I'm going to start with the offensive line. I thought the offensive line really did a solid job of protecting Matt Ryan. He looked shaky, but I really thought they were very solid protecting him. This is the only time, really, that the offense broke down, Coach. But also, we talked about Julio Jones, and even if he's covered, you even said it, Liam, he's never covered. Just throw it up there. But defensively, Coach, we talked about the point of emphasis being tackling. You talked to Coach Dan Quinn. He talked about how important it was. I thought they did an excellent job of tackling. Only on this play, safety Keanu Neal, he has to be able to make that tackle and keep him out of the end zone.
On the other side, we spent so much time in the pregame talking about Alvin Kamara, and for good reason, the front runner for Offensive Rookie of the Year. He takes a hit to the head, left the game, hasn't returned. How have the Saints adjusted?
Well, they had to change because so much of what they wanted to do was featuring Kamara, and he is so dynamic. That was the one place they had a mismatch, him catching balls against the linebackers. So they went and looked at other places, tried to get some screens to other people, tight ends. But they finally found, as we saw, the touchdown pass to Lewis. And I think in the second half, look for Ted Ginn. He's the guy who could create some mismatches with his speed in the second half.
All right, it's 10-10 at the break right now. Coming up next, bring you a preview of the Sunday night football game between Baltimore and Pittsburgh.
This the type of game, make your mark. You'll make your mark. Make them know who your name is.
Let's get it. Stay the course. Do not flinch. They execute. I know y'all got to be high.
And the Steelers draw first blood. That's the way you set the tone.
We back to doing us now.
We play defense, bro. Let's go. Touchdown. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. And Antonio Brown throws himself across the chalk. You've got to be kidding me.
Thursday night football. It's Broncos.
Game time, baby.
It's Colts.
1, 2, 3, go.
Von Miller and Denver are looking to finish strong.
Oh, my goodness, he caught it.
But T.Y. Hilton and Indianapolis aren't going down without a fight.
That was awesome.
Thursday night football. When it's on, it's on. Next Thursday at 8 on NFL Network, NBC, and streaming on Amazon Prime Video. Then it's an NFL Network special doubleheader Saturday, December 16th, starting at 4:30, only on NFL Network.
Wherever he went, guys just followed him.
The way that he was always positive about everything inspired me.
He was definitely one of the greatest to ever play this game.
Aeneas Williams is unbelievable.
Why can this team be the team that ends up playing every game in the playoffs at home, including the Super Bowl?
I think we're a smart team. I think we've got great leadership.
No one can outfight it. You got the heart of champion.
We don't want to be sitting here in March saying, what if?
Being from here kind of adds a little chip to, your shoulder. You're just kind of just like, hey, I'm playing for these guys.
Caught by Thielen. Touchdown!
You can call it a chip on your shoulder. You can call it whatever you want. But it's just, it's who we are.
And you can catch the rest of that interview with Case Keenum and Adam Thielen Sunday morning on NFL Network. Of course, Sunday evening on NBC. The Steelers can clinch the AFC North with a win over the arch-rival Ravens. But, as we know, Pittsburgh will be without linebacker Ryan Shazier, who underwent spinal stabilization surgery last night. As a result of the injury he suffered during Monday's win over Cincinnati, we were watching that game. You're watching that, Rodney. Your thoughts as that play went down?
Yeah, it was a very scary moment because as a parent, when I watched it, I was very emotional, and I looked at my wife and I told my wife, there's no way I'm going to let my two sons, 10 years old and 13 years old, play football. I just felt like it was too dangerous at that point. But then the player side kicked in, and Coach, what I started focusing on is the technique, and I think this could be a learning lesson for anybody playing football on any level. When you hit, when you tackle, you must tackle with your head up, use your shoulders, and wrap your arms.
Yeah, and I think that play really affected both of those teams, Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, in the course of that game. But what happens is, just as you said, it kicks in, you start to think about your job and what you have to do. And I think Sunday night, we're going to see both teams, Baltimore and Pittsburgh, play great football. It's going to be very physical. I was at the game last year. Went down to the last play. Antonio Brown stretching that ball over the goal line with 1 second left. I think we're going to see the same type of energy and same type of game Sunday.
Do you think as a player, if that happened to one of your teammates, you'd be able to turn around and play with that intensity?
It would be very tough, Liam. I mean, to see one of the guys, one of your brothers, land on that ground and he's not able to move, it'd be very scary to go back on that football field.
Something you say to your players going into this one?
Well, you talk about technique and what Rodney said. Doing things the right way, playing hard. And I'll tell you, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're going to rally around Ryan Shazier and they're going to play great football because their brother is down. They're going to want to win this game for him.
Play for Ryan.
All right, Steelers, Ravens, that's Sunday night. Tonight, you wanted this place to get loud. Well, it got loud right behind us. Former Falcons running back Warrick Dunn inducted as the 10th member in their Ring of Honor. Falcons president and CEO Rich McKay. He was with Tampa Bay as the GM when you were there. Drafted Warrick Dunn, was looking for a player, a running back. Said he wasn't just the best running back on the field, he was the best player on the field.
Yeah, and he came back with that assessment, and Derek Brooks, Warwick's teammate at Florida State, was already on our team. Derek says he was in my office every day before the draft. We've got to get this guy. He's going to bring something special to the team. Coach, we got to get him. We ended up drafting him. He came with us, and I know many people know the story. His mother was killed. He brought his siblings with him and won Rookie of the Year as he was raising his siblings. It's an awesome story.
Incredible person on and off the field, and tonight inducted into the Falcons Ring of Honor. Earlier, it was Devontae Freeman, and then later, Tommy Lee Lewis. It's 10-10 at the half.
Thank you for watching the Lexus Halftime Report.